Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am back once again for another Slim Sports interview. And as always, I'm your host, Jay Slim. And joining me once again on the podcast, one of the original members of the Slim Sports family and my family as well. Been a brother since day one, supporting what I do. And likewise, I've been supporting him all throughout his collegiate to pro journey now in the coaching ranks, continuing to do what he does. You see his jersey in the background, got a nice little autograph on there, a graduate assistant coach from Indiana University, my guy, ShanQuan Tank Hemphill. What's going on, Tank?
What's the word, man? How you doing, brother?
Hey man, I'm doing great. I'm excited to get you back on. It's been a little bit, been a minute since we had you on. Had last time I had you on, you were wrapping up one of your seasons in the pro ranks overseas, dunking on people left and right, scoring buckets
Yeah.
left and right, continuing to do what you do. Since then, you have hung up the jersey, at least for the time being, who knows, but now in the coaching ranks with Indiana, with one of your former head coaches. We'll talk to you about that here in a sec. But obviously, a whole lot has gone on, and since you've been last been on, I've revamped the podcast a little bit, and I now got some segments where we actually got a little bit of professionalism going on here. And I'm going to
For
show off
sure.
one of these segments real quick
Yeah.
that I like to call resume rundown, where I'm going to show off the resume that you have, show people who you are, what you've done pro overseas. I believe the past 3 seasons, and before your pro career started, you were over at Drake, helping leading them to the NCAA tournament, getting wins in the NCAA tournament, while also earning Missouri Valley Conference Newcomer of the Year honors in 2021, as well as all MVC and defensive team honors in 2021 as well. So, obviously, a lot of stuff right there. That doesn't cover everything, but obviously, we got to get into the questions. Otherwise, we'd be here all day
So,
talking about your awards. But I want to talk real quick about your pro career as far as the past couple of seasons. I know I had you on after some of your pro seasons to where we could talk about that, but just talk to me real quick about wrapping up the last couple of years in the pro ranks, what that experience was like for you, and that decision to put up the jersey and come over into the coaching ranks.
yeah. So the people that's overseas know how tough playing ball overseas. You got to deal with being away from your family. You got to deal with the change in um, uh, language that they speak. I mean, you got to navigate that, and so many different things. But overall, I think that my experience overseas was good. I had some rough spots that I went to, but in totality, as I look back, and I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful that I got the opportunity to even play ball overseas. Not too many people get the opportunity to play ball in college. It's like a slim percentage, and then to go on to play professionally. So yeah, Sweden was like my favorite spot out of everything. There was a lot of people that still spoke English, like they teach English heavily in their school curriculum. And just overall, the city was great. It was a small city, so like you walking down the streets and people. I probably already said this before, but you're walking down the streets and people are dapping you up. The kids are dapping you up coming right before school or lunchtime because they get to leave school and go throughout the city to get their own lunch. So I see them. They want autographs in the city. So I think that was my favorite spot out of all of them. But yeah, it was a grind. It was definitely a grind, and but overall, I'm just grateful to have that opportunity to play ball overseas.
Hey, absolutely, man. Obviously, over the past couple of years when I've had you on, we showed off all the highlights that you had, all the big time dunks that you had, obviously doing what Tank Hempfield is known for doing, and that's putting people on posters left and right and getting wins, obviously, wherever you've been. And now that the professional career, you wrapped up those last couple of seasons, now you're coming into the coaching ranks. You end up reuniting with your head coach from your time at Drake, Coach DeVries, when he takes this head coaching job with Indiana this past season. Now you come in, you're a graduate assistant. Talk to me real quick about that connection, joining him at Indiana and how that came to be.
Yeah, I say at the end at the end of my time in Sweden, first playoff game. We was playing in Luleå, and I don't know too many people know Sweden area, but Luleå is at the top of Sweden. That was in our conference or whatever. So he was playing the first playoff game, and I was doing good, probably like 8 to 10 points first half. going into the second half, the very first play, well, the last play of the first half, I was in 2-3, bounced back. Then I went for the ball and the guy ran through my arm and I dislocated my shoulder. Um, so that had set me out, but this was the end of the season. So I ended up coming home, fast forward. I'm rehabbing, getting ready for the next gig, just waiting. My agent, I ain't got none yet. But as the time went on, I went to the doctor for this, my ankle, inside of my ankle. It never went down. And then I had a long talk with my mom. And I just think that I think it was the Lord, like it was my time. Like you have your seasons of when you know that basketball is done. I mean, I don't know if everybody know, but like you have that time when you just know that it's done. And I think that was the Lord telling me that. And I didn't know at the time that it was time to hang it up. So around December 31st going into January 1st, that's when I officially decided to retire. And I was trying to navigate, see what I was gonna do, probably get a job. I ended up getting a job for a little while, but I just know like I know that I just hoop since I was 6 or 7 years old. Like I love the game of basketball. So um that's what I fully surrendered to Christ. And then I know that he took me through all that with basketball, and it's not for me just not to play or be around basketball anymore. So that's when I ended up hitting up my who was the head coach of my high school right now. I was gonna join a staff. He was like, "Yeah, come on." But at the same time, Coach DeVries had got the Indiana job. So I hit him up. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna set you up." So, but yeah, it was a simple text. It was a simple text to Coach DeVries, and I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for the opportunity that I got. I don't care just being around. I don't care what position I'm in. I'm around awesome guys that know the bat, know ball, and I'm learning a lot. That's the biggest thing I'm taking away from this. You learning so much from winning and coaches that have been in different levels in different areas. I played against some of the coaches on the staff when I was a ball player, not even knowing, like you just never know who you're running into later on in life.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, small world. I mean, you think back to your pro career, your rookie year in the pros, you were playing against former teammate Tremel Murphy overseas. So obviously that just speaks to, the small world where you never know who you're going to run into. It's absolutely
Yeah,
incredible. And you
yeah, for
yourself being
sure.
able to reunite with Coach DeVries, obviously you know firsthand what his playing style is like, what he's expecting from these players. And not only do you have that experience, but you do have those experience from being a professional athlete, which all of these players with Indiana, they're looking to go continue their careers at the next level. And
Yeah.
so you have all of this knowledge there, in your head, that IQ. What would you say was some of the biggest advice that you were able to give to some of these players as a guy that has had both of those type of experiences to where they could get used to Coach DeVries' system, the way that he expects his players to be, and be able to go out there and play as future pros on the court?
Oh, it was a unique situation because like he has a lot of guys that came from Drake on the staff. Like we have Coach Nordy, had Garrett, and then along with the physical trainer and our lifting guy Ryan. But it's good that I just got done playing, so like I understand that side being a player. I understand being a player and then being a player from like you said, like I was a player for a coach. So I understand what do you want. I understand with a whole bunch of new coaches coming in. I understand the system already, so I'm able to help them out, but I'm able to help the players out. What right reads to make. That was my biggest thing. I'm telling them how to operate on the court, and what he like what type of I know all the lingo, um, and what they can thrive in on the court. And then as well on the defensive side, um, how can I help them? All the things that I already know. So I try to give them all the knowledge that I wish somebody would have told me, like if I had somebody that already played for Coach DeVries in my ear. That's
Hey,
basically it.
there you go, man. That's perfect right there, being able to relate to the player. And that shows that you definitely have a future in this coaching gig, continuing your career moving forward, obviously still with Indiana right now. And, I want to pick your brain a little bit more as far as some of these players, as far as their skill sets and how they were able to improve under yourself and the rest of the coaching staff in a brand new segment that I'm debuting for the first time. You're the first coach that I've had on since I started doing segments. Usually, this time with the players, I do a segment called Make That Play, showing off some of their best highlights, which for you, obviously, we're still going to show some of those off, like your big time dunk against Oregon back when you were with Green Bay. Got to shout that one out. ESPN top 10 dunk there. But this segment I like to call Scouting Report, where I want to give you a chance to maybe mention two, maybe three players at most as far as their improvement on the scouting report, ways that they improved to where, at the beginning of the season, if you looked at the scouting report, okay, we got to target this guy with this and that. By the end of the season, maybe they've gotten stronger with that or have taken that off the scouting report or put something else on there altogether.
Love all the guys. I say Lamar Wilkerson. That dude's a pro. That dude's a pro. It's like defensively, like he had such a big role. He was okay defensively, and he had such a big role that he was playing so many minutes that, maybe on some teams you not held accountable defensively. But I think that he picked it up on that side of the ball to show that he is indeed a threat. Like he can shoot, he can play, he can hoop, and he can guard. So I love that about him. Sam Alexis, I can say Sam Alexis from last year. So I think he came in, he didn't, nobody knew what to do, but like he figured it out. He figured it out and he started coming in with enthusiasm and energy. So he improved. You can see some of the games where his low post moves, like he knew when he was getting the ball, he knew what he can do with the ball. I talked to him a lot about that. I'm like, bro, you catch the ball, bro, you survey, you go with your move. So I think that in a couple games that he took advantage of that. And my boy Tuck, I gotta go my boy Tuck, honestly. He's just a pro too. So Tuck's just a pro. He's a leader. I think he picked up his shooting on the move. He always shot on the move, but on different levels. He started at Drake. Drake is different from with Big 12 and playing in the Big 10. Being able to make it at a higher clip. I think those three guys was the most surprising, and stuff changed as the season went on. Like they got better as the season went on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, two of those guys now heading off to the NBA Summer League here soon, and we'll touch on them here in a sec, actually. But first, I want to talk to you real quick about the start to the season that you guys had because you guys caught fire early on. Started off 7-0, ended up earning spots in the NCAA national rankings on ESPN. And I mean, beat tough teams in Marquette, Kansas State, a couple of other really talented programs. And obviously, you mentioned before, you bring people from everywhere together.
Yeah.
Talk to me real quick about the start to this season. What would you say was the biggest X factor for this team to where you guys were able to go off and beat some of these tough opponents early on?
I think that what was a good sign was that Kansas State game because I believe they were like 7-0 to start the season. I think I'm not sure. I think they were ranked, but they were hot. But I think that they were still figuring out like as the season go on, like you probably ain't gonna have your team until for sure have until like January, February. So I think we had the guys do their job and we're still trying to figure out what we were going to be like. But I think that we just take it game by game. That was the biggest thing, taking it game by game. And I think that every team should do that. We was still figuring it out. It was good that we got those dubs. Well, that was up until like December or something like that. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, you guys got a lot of wins in a row, beat some very tough opponents left and right, got some big wins in Big Ten action as well,
yeah,
obviously. Overall on the season, 18-14 overall record, 9-11 in a very tough Big Ten conference. Obviously, the national champion Michigan coming from that conference, so you know firsthand that it's the best of the best at that level. And you guys made it to the second round of the Big Ten tournament. And, in Big Ten action, you guys would win a few in a row, have a couple of losses, win back and forth, stuff like that. And you now being in a coaching role, now you're looking at it from a different kind of perspective. As a player, all right, we all put our shoes on the same way. We all put the jersey on the same way. We just got to go out there. We got to hoop. We got to compete. Now, as a coach, you're looking as far as, okay, we got to make some adjustments. We got to make sure that these guys are in the right spots doing their part. When you got into Big Ten action at this kind of level, what would you say were some of the biggest lessons that you learned as a coach as far as what you needed to do to help the team in these kinds of scenarios?
With my position, I would say that preparing the guys for the game. I'm a GA, so I have to like play on like the help the scout team basically. And it's not like we ain't got 7 footers. We ain't got Nick Martinelli out there. We ain't got Nate Biddle and Adea Mara out there. But giving them the best look at what they were at what they are going to see the next day or next 2 days. I think that's the biggest thing that I tried to do when I in my position as a graduate assistant, giving them the best look, so they'll know, so they can feel potentially what they can feel for game day. I think that was the best. That was the best thing that I can do, and with getting having the right clips that portray that person on film. So we watch film every day. Having the right clips that'll tell you who within 2 or 3 clips or whatever, however many we have, this is what he do. This is what he's good at. That's another thing. That's off the court thing. This is what he's good at. This is the type of player he is. Just because we only have so much time with them when we get him in the gym, and so having that ready and then giving them a great look on the scout team.
And
Yeah.
there you go. Got to maximize those opportunities. Obviously, you said you get a limited amount of time with them every day with the practice time, stuff like that. Got to make sure they're ready. That's a great job by you, making sure that they aren't just getting ready, but they're staying ready when they're on the
Yeah.
court going against these tough competitions. And obviously, your help as well as the rest of this coaching staff, a fantastic coaching staff, was able to produce two guys that are now heading off to the NBA Summer League. You mentioned both of them, Lamar Wilkerson and Tucker DeVries.
We got
But
Sam Alexis too. Sam Alexis going to OKC for summer league too.
hey, there we
Yeah.
go. So, okay, you guys got three. What do you think these fans should be looking at from your guys that are going to be in the summer league as far as, hey, get ready because they're going to make some noise?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's easy to say hard playing because I think summer league everybody trying to get it and everybody's going to play hard. So for Sam, I think that you're going to see playing in different spots, playing on the post or his shooting. I think his shooting was the biggest thing that he stayed here for a couple months or weeks after season and worked out with him for a little bit. Tucker, he's gonna play hard for sure. Like that movement shooting, um, is gonna be there. Like he's a straight knockdown shooter. So the fans should be excited for that. And Lamar, I think he's a bucket. He's gonna get a bucket and then he's gonna guard. So who can't get excited for a guy that knock? That's what OKC do. They shoot threes and they guard. That's a good thing. So I think Sam would do the same thing. Like Sam got hops. He can guard the post. He can guard four. He can. Sam can guard 1 through 5. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. That OKC side is gonna be nice.
Yeah, those three guys definitely going to make some noise in the summer league. I mean, you talk about obviously Lamar with the Thunder. They actually just made a few changes with their guards on their roster. He very well could have a great opportunity to earn a nice spot going into the season. And then obviously, Tucker with the Celtics, they're known for shooting threes. He's a lights out 3-point shooter, match made in heaven right there. And obviously, you got a chance to see both of them in action, work with them at practice, doing what you do. And I mean, obviously, just two of a whole lot of great names from Indiana and a couple of names of a lot of great players that you know across the world now playing overseas, playing from the college ranks and all that. And I want to give you a chance to maybe shout a few people out in this last segment that we got that I like to call Who's Up Next, where I'm going to give you a chance to recommend some players that I should get on the podcast, get them to talk about their careers, their stories, not just from the player ranks, but also from the coaching ranks, since now obviously you know quite a few coaches doing what they do best as well. So who would you say is next up on Some Sports Podcast?
Uh Man, I don't know if I seen Charlie on here. Charles Manning. Hey, he's still hooping overseas. I think he's back home right now, so this probably be a great time to get him. Maybe Keon. I'm trying to shout out everybody that is affiliated with FSW. I got a guy in that's Adobo with Minnesota, Lucas Stieber. He had played with him at Green Bay. Great guy. Who else, man? Them all the ones I can think of right there.
Hey man, I mean, those are some great names right off
Yeah.
the dome. And now we've got to talk about what's next as far as continuing this journey in the coaching ranks, continuing what you do. What would you say is the next step for you as far as, continuing to grow your resume in the coaching ranks and continuing to help your teams, go off and be champions going into next season?
Um, I think it's just worry about this year. I mean, I don't want to get tied into what I got going on next. Um, but taking care of this team, like I said, we got a lot of guys coming in from different spots. It is important that they know me and I know them. I mean, we started on the first. It's been 25, 26 days since we all got together on the one roof. So taking care of this team right now and just putting myself in the best position as far as like doing all the work that would prepare me to be a coach. That's a big thing for me. Staying close to the ones that got knowledge. These got some of the guys on our staff that's been around ball for a while. But it's good to be a good person. Like you're a great person, and I appreciate you. I want to give you your flowers. I appreciate you. But knowing good people will allow for opportunities like this for me to be on your podcast. I appreciate it. So I still have relationships with my coaches from Green Bay. I have relationships with coaches that recruited me that I didn't even go to their school, but I got a good relationship with them. So that's one of the big things that I'm leaning on as this year ends. I'll lean on that, but um, ultimately taking care of these guys right now. I think that's the biggest thing. I think we meshing good right now. I think that the guys are liking each other and clicking. Yeah, day by day, hour by hour, practice by practice until the next gig. I'll be a hoop.
Hey, there you go, man. There you go. Definitely can't wait. And obviously, you build great relationships with everybody because that's just who you are. That's why I love getting you on. Not just a fantastic player and now obviously a fantastic coach, but fantastic human being. I'll never forget talking to Coach Murphy about you. And for those that don't know, Tank and I have never met in person, but this is one of my brothers for life. This is a guy where we text each other, quite frequently, hyping each other up, helping each other out. And I remember talking to Coach Murph one day about you, and he said, man, that is one of the best people that we've ever recruited to FSW. And obviously, that's been true about you wherever you've been since. So, always happy to get you on this podcast, man. You know, you always have a spot, not just with the Some Sports family, but with my family as well, man. So, thank you so much for hopping on the Some Sports podcast for an amazing interview.
So I appreciate you so much, man. Appreciate you so much, honestly.